hopes because, you know, this looks like a team that when you see the roster, it's like, okay, I don't know where they're going to land in the standings, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. And right now, a lot of NRG fans are kind of getting a little demoralized because, you know, they need to pick it up because it's supposed to be this winning formula, like I said. Like, GBM is supposed to be able to go off, and so is Quas and OQ, but they're not having 2 carries at once.
Yeah, we've heard from GBM himself that he expects to be the primary carry for the team, but just has had difficulty converting. So we'll see if he can recover as we have entered into picks and bans between NRG and Phoenix One. Azir banned away from Pyrion, and Sivir going to be banned away from Phoenix One as well as Vlad and Zyra taken away from Kiwi.
Yeah, pretty standard here. From what I'm seeing, the only thing that sticks out to me is the Sivir. That is not as popular over here in North America as it is in other areas. But MASH loves that champion. It allows him to wave clear rather easily and be utility for his team.
Vlad and Zyra taken away.
Big bans at NRG, and also pretty okay red side bans, like especially Vladimir. GBM has had player of the game multiple times on Vladimir, and Kiwi Kid will take that Zyra every time he can.
Yeah, we'll see how they decide to react. Karma still made it through, so too did that Swain.
Well,
very highly.
I'm mostly worried about Ryze here, because Ryze made it through, and Ryze has a high priority on him as both a flex pick, but also just the mage that he is does an incredible amount of damage. And if you're able to get Ryze and then eventually get a Karma for yourself, if they don't take it on P1 side, then you can't get away from him. It's so hard.
Oh, man. The chase is real, but 20 seconds left for NRG to look for their first pick. They decide to opt with the Karma. That means Ryze is open for Phoenix One if they want to play it.
Yeah, but the Karma taken away here will allow them to play Swain for Quas. Also, things like Alawi are more enabled by having that, which is something that Quas has played in the past. Fizz did take a nerf, so I don't know if we'll see that.
Yeah, just shuffling through for now. The Orianna hover, bit of a nod to Slushi.
Also, no jungle ban, so I assume you take the Rek'Sai here, which is high priority jungler. Also, Olaf has become incredibly high priority. But Inori making his debut was a Rengar one trick. So hovering that, giving it a little shout out. It was kind of like back in the day in Challenger, there was all of the support mains that were Thresh mains. So there was like Bunny Fufu, Sheep, Remy, like everybody was a Thresh main. And then there was a point in Challenger where it was like everybody's a Rengar main. It's like Dardoch, Inori, Acadian. So sometimes you get them confused, but Inori and Acadian, you know, both big Rengar players, and they're both in the scene right now. So, but complete aside.
Yeah, not seeing any Rengar just yet. Instead, first picks for Phoenix One are going to be Shen and Olaf, taking a page out of Team Liquid's book.
Yeah, not too surprised by that. I think that the Olaf right now, very high priority jungler. If I'm looking at the stats correctly, he's been picked in 72% of games across Europe and North America so far. So really high percentage on this patch. The Ghost and everybody just realizing how powerful he is and how destructive he is to get to a backline. And then having the Shen giving him a little more power. And you can't stop the Olaf barreling into your team, so it allows the Shen some backline access when you're diving. It's a dive buddy for the Olaf, which you really need.
Yeah, the support killer himself. Now NRG going to try to switch things up as OQ going to be taking Lucian. Santorin in answer. Locks in Rek'Sai. So once again going for the vision style play.
The only time that OQ played Lucian was back in week 1, game 3 against Envy in his first set. So since then, he hasn't touched it, and he went 4-1-1 in that game. Since then, he's going Twitch pretty much every game that he can. I'm excited to see him go back to that.
An answer, though, Phoenix One take a pretty strong bottom lane on their own. Braum and Tristana locked in for MASH and Gate. That could be a pretty scary bot lane if they manage to land a stun and toss on a explosive shot.
Yeah, the Satchel jumping onto people. We'll see what ends up happening there. But the Braum definitely gives him a lot of protection. And that's honestly what this comp is going to be about, is MASH. He's always that backliner. It's always how much damage can MASH actually get off in these fights. Long range for Tristana. Able to have a lot of ways to reposition himself. So That's a good pick there for MASH, but then there's so much dive here from P1, and if they can get the Braum in on it too, just absolute destruction here from the P1 squad. But NRG, they have their own picks in mind here.
Yeah, Jax now locked in for Quas, and GBM going to be taking the huge damage Victor.
Yeah, Victor, champion that, I mean, he stole some Barons on, right? So it's the champion that he was making a fantastic splash with last split. It just didn't carry over in terms of momentum in the standings. They ended up at that 6th place and getting knocked out of playoffs rather early on. So GBM going to try to be bringing the damage today. It's going to be a lot on his shoulders. OQ does have some mobility to help him out here. And now Quas is enabled as well.
Yeah, saving the last pick for Phoenix 1 on Pyrion, or Pyrion on Phoenix 1. And they decide to go with Rise.
Finally.
The rogue mage himself.
Yeah, finally going with the Rise. Very high pick ban percentage for him, especially in North America. We really like taking Rise out of the equation. He's not going to be paired with anything like a Karma, though, so he won't have too much enabling him, but he will have a lot of people to take all of the damage for him in the front line.
Yeah, Phoenix 1 looking very strong with their composition. NRG going for a similar 4-1 setup that they've tried before.
Yep, so looking at the compositions overall, NRG, they have a great 4-man unit. Quas, he can have the split push on the Jax. Your 4-man unit, typically you need 1 disengager, you need something that can kill turrets, and you need something that wave clears. They have the Lucian for the turrets, they have the Victor for the wave clear, and then they have the Karma for the disengage. So the 4-man unit is absolutely perfect for NRG, so their idea is split push 4-1. And then you go over to the other side, Shen, he'll try to shut down a little bit of that because he has multiple teleports and you can get in and try to force 5-man fights. So the Braum and the Olaf are going to try to do that. So we're looking for a little bit of catch and run down here. So it's a little disengaged from 4 people and 5 people trying to run in and start a team fight from the other side.
Well, we'll see how those work out for the team. Now, we're going to send on to Summoner's Rift, but we need your contributions on Twitter. Join in with hashtag NRGWin or hashtag P1Win. And let us know who you think is going to take the game as we load into our match. Game number 1 of NRG versus Phoenix 1.
And not quite.
Not quite. We're getting
almost. Pause came out at the very beginning there.
Yeah.
So load screen for some of the players. And also, you always have to consider, you know, it's Nori's first time on stage, so had to get all his settings going and all of that. So had to get that check mark off at the very beginning.
Turn off the summoner names, turn off all your different icons. But so to talk about that a little more, NRG running with the 4-1 composition, we've seen Phoenix 1 sort of struggle with cross-map macro play before. And NRG, they might be looking to prey on that weakness once again.
Yeah, they're going to try to prey on that. And Quas did take the Ghost on his Jax, so not going to have the same access to the Flash Counter-Strike to actually fight. So this does strike me as he is going for that 4-1, and he is going to try to split push and run people down a lane. So that's what I'm looking for here from Quas. And P1, I think it's a good strat against them. I think that P1 struggle with it, like you said, and they brought double TP. It's getting the coordination down where they can actually execute on this double teleport and make it happen. Because Zig, he used to play Shen even before it got reworked. So he was always a good tank player in the top lane. It's just transitioning that to the stage and also making it work on a team comp.
Yeah, very veteran player, though. This is his first time playing as a starter in the LCS. And now Phoenix 1 are going to rush forward. Some early damage finds GBM. Pyrion might see if he can bait GBM forward, but Flash Exhaust means that GBM probably going to be safe, and the early ward from NRG spots out the 4-man invade unit from Phoenix 1.
It's always great to invade when you have an Olaf. Early axes, throwing them the constant slow. You'll usually get a Flash, and even if you're going to blow Ghost and chase him down, the Ghost is a much lower cooldown.
Very strong early invade champion, but not quite able to convert anything this time. And with the deep wards, we'll see if we do get a lane swap, as currently Mash and Gate are waiting on the top side, while Quas is already prepped on the bottom with Santorin, so NRG might be anticipating a lane swap and enacting one of their own.
Oh, this is going to be cool, because NRG are going to swap it.
But Phoenix 1 are invading.
And Phoenix 1 are invading, and you don't usually see this. You don't usually see the top laner and the jungler stick around. And yeah, they're zoning off OQ, and he's stuck in the 2-on-2. And they're going to sneak a blue buff.
Oh, Pyrion catches up. 3 stacks of the concussive
Oh,
blows.
he's still going to walk this way. If Zig hides, he can actually get them on the backside if he wants, but no, he's going to TP to the bottom.
Yeah.
And Nori's going to pick up level 2 and the blue buff.
Nori's deep in enemy territory, though, with only Ghost. He's got to try to dodge the vision. Tosses
Oh, he
an
gave
axe.
himself away, though.
NRG know that he's there now, but they're going to let him off. And Nori escapes to his own side of the jungle, stealing away the blue buff from NRG.
Yeah, Rek'Sai doesn't really care too much about that,
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens with the other blue buff. I think Nori will go blue to blue, just to basically ensure and guarantee that he's going to be able to triple buff.
Yeah, he's on his way over there now. Smite even on the Firewolf camp.
But it does stop GBM from having an early blue buff, which, I mean, if you're taking resources away from GBM, it's never a bad thing.
Yeah. And there goes the invade. Smiting on the Direwolf camp, spots out Santorin. Immediate pings are traded. Now, Inori has no smite, but just tossing the undertows with that blue buff means that Santorin has to back off.
Yep. And now Inori, not level 3 just yet, has to clear one more camp.
That lumbering blue buff is
And-
back away.
And
Santorin.
Goes back in.
Yeah,
And now Inori's low.
yeah, Inori has no smite yet for another 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Santorin is going to try to bully him away. Quas is even coming in to help.
Inori a little too far forward.
Oh, he drops the ghost. Quas drops the counter-strike. Stun is going to find Inori. Block means he can get under the turret. Zig is going to eat some punishment as well, but Inori is punished in his own jungle.
Yeah, Inori, I mean, he was in a great position for a lot of that, and he decided to give himself up. It's kind of obvious that Santorin is going to try to come back through, especially through the tunnel that he had laid before. Just have the quick way in, and now that blue buff goes over to Santorin. Santorin will hit level 4, and Inori's stuck level 2 right now.
Yeah, very slow start to the new jungler of Phoenix 1 on his LCS debut. We'll see if he can recover, as he is going for the boots style, so wants to move around.
Yeah, Phoenix 1 had a lot of opportunities there because it was different. It was a different style at the start for that lane swap, where Inori maybe could have come out of Fog of War in front of the two members. And hold on, we'll talk about that in a second.
Oh, he's going to knock up Fury, and Santorin gets first blood with GBM.
And we're talking about Santorin GBM synergy. It's real. Santorin has been ganking this lane very consistently, especially when he has Rek'Sai early on, trying to get GBM ahead, and trying to turn him online. And it's just an assist for him right now, but maybe that'll manifest into more. Inori picks up the CS and gets a little bit closer to being that level 4.
Yeah. Still level 3, still down just a bit, as Santorin has already crested the level 5 hill. And now going to finally complete his first recall 5 minutes in with that first blood. So Santorin definitely feeling good about his start in this one, whereas Inori on the other side still kind of scrambling to catch up with that Rek'Sai. Meanwhile, the upside down lanes have gone generally even. OQ and MASH even in CS, and Zig and Quas doing the same. So Quas did use his teleport early to get to that bottom side.
Yeah.
Thinks he's going to miss a few minions here.
Yeah, did have to use his ghost as well to try and chase Inori down. Got his own ghost in reply. But yeah, going back to that whole level 1 thing, that could have been really creative from P1, where they knew, P1 should have known that NRG did not know that Inori was doing the blue at that moment. Zig could have come from Fog. They could have had a kill there. They could have actually gotten some flashes and summoner spells as well with the Olaf if he had walked up, because they would have been pincered between an Olaf and then a Braum and Tristana. So there were a lot of things there that could have happened for P1, and instead they try to go for the kind of conservative 3 buff, and it doesn't work out because Quas gets there way earlier. Santorin had already hit level 3, and Nori was still stuck at level 2.
Yeah, Nori now on the top side of the map, drops a pink to defend Phoenix 1. Exhaust, they're going to try to force this onto a fight on Kiwi. Gate gets dropped before MASH can respond, and Nori forces the flash from Kiwi, but here comes Santorin, and Nori is split from his team.
Yeah, he's walking straight to GBM.
Is going to collapse on him. Gravity Field slows him a bit. Already level 6, drops the Chaos Storm for some burst. There's going to be a lot of slows. Santorin looks to catch up, and GBM gets the kill. 3-0 NRG.
Yep, it does not look good for P1, but NRG, on the other hand, been collapsing incredibly well. That 2-on-2 in the top side, P1 committed too hard. It looked like there had been a call to be aggressive because Inori was coming around the top side. Well, Pyrion doesn't have his teleport. Zig, I believe, was still about to be level 6 Yeah, he was almost level 6. He was level 5, very close to hitting level 6. He actually hit level 6 right after Nori died. So the Shen wasn't there to stand united and actually save, and even get himself in the fight.
NRG feeling very good about the start to this one. 7 minutes in, 1,700, 1,800 gold ahead of Phoenix One with those kills. And that's the kills on 3 very important members, GBM, OQ, and Santorin. You can see Serrated Dirk actually picked up for both MASH and OQ, whereas Santorin already completing his blue smite and GBM upgrading that Hex core.
Yeah, a little different there for Tristana. Typically you see them go for something like a Runeans or something like a Affinity Edge early on, or at least the BF sword. So the Youmuu's build is what it looks like it may be. Those can't say I'm too familiar with Tristana with Youmuu's.
8 minutes in, and NRG feeling very confident as the 4 members of their 4-1 split push comp are looking very strong, while Quas is holding his own against Zig. Now Zig, you can see Zig taking some punishment, just barely missing that minion, get some assistance from a Nori. In fact, there are 4 members of NRG on this side of the map. GBM is actually roaming through the jungle. They could look to collapse, but Phoenix One sniff it out and decide not to take any chances. They're going to trade one tier 1 for the other as the top goes down for the bottom.
Yep, so very delayed lane swap here after the whole death top lane. Rather curious though, because they have double TP on the side of P1, and Quas had used his, and Zig, he has TP and Stand United. He had them both available. I mean, you could make another play in that 2-on-2, and it would really be a 3-on-3 or even a 4-on-4. So it's a little bit confusing because they had an advantage that they could have taken, but I guess at this point they're just saying that Jax is getting a little too much free farm in this early game. So it's time to swap it up. Let's get ourselves out of these lanes. Try to have a little bit of an easier time here.
Try to slow NRG down, but NRG don't seem to be content to do that. Shoving top to take the top tier 1, and now once again sending 3 members towards the bottoms. OQ, Kiwi, and Quas look to catch up. Quas even taking the long way around to try avoiding vision, but a couple of deep wards I think will eventually spot him. So Zig does have a freeze in the top lane. In answer, Phoenix One, NRG might try to look for a play on the bottom side of the map. Mountain Drake is up, and Quas gonna double jungle a bit with Santorin, knowing that they can't break the freeze on Zig.
You know,
and everybody takes a bit of a chill pill.
Yeah, kind of looking for the next objective here. And there's the TP.
Whoa.
They're gonna try to get OQ. OQ does have flash though, but Pyrian, oh, flashes the wall. Pyrian catches up. There's snare number 1. There's taunt follow up. There's a kill for Phoenix One. Yeah, that's the type of play that you can make when you have those globals. Pyrian comes through first, and there's no way that Quas can answer that. When it ends up, it would be a 4-on-3, honestly. Yeah. So, opposite side of the map, NRG secure the Rift Herald. Big part of their strategy is Quas split pushing, right? It's the 4-1 with the wave clear victor. Have the Quas split push. Give him Rift Herald, give him a large advantage early, and then the strategy's completely turned online.
Yeah, Quas building towards that Trinity Force as quick as possible. Phoenix One answer with a Mountain Drake, as you can see. Definitely going to be very important later on as they look to siege and break objectives, and eventually later neutral objectives like further Drakes and Baron. But for now, NRG are going to be content with that kill and a little bit of later scaling.
Yeah, but NRG not content with just a 2,000 gold lead for themselves. And they have to watch out for plays like that because Zig still has his teleport. Zig can still make another play. And that's what P1 need to do, is P1 need to be proactive with their globals. If you are reactive with your globals, it's not going to be that great because GBM will already be in a position to start running towards where the action is. And you don't want this Victor to really ever be a part of these fights. You want to kind of avoid him and go for the side lane fights. Go for the fights where you can pick people off and have a numbers advantage. Also make them fast because if GBM does get there, it does end up being a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Once Kiwi Kid starts to get GBM into fights, that could be scary. Oh, just missing the Winter's Bite. Kiwi Kid is able to walk away as Phoenix 1, the roaming gank squad, trying to make something happen but are unsuccessful. Now fighting over Vision in the river. Next Drake is Infernal, but that's not going to spawn for another few minutes, so we do have some time where there aren't any big neutral objectives on the map, and teams will just jockey over Vision instead.
Yep. And without the Vision that is required, NRG, they're pinging that Tri-Brush over and over again because they thought P1 could have come down towards that bot lane and gone through the Tri-Brush, and that's why OQ backed off of the wave, because they actually could have gone that way. It wasn't warded by NRG. Yeah, and Zig's going to start losing this pretty hard. Not just because of that Rift Herald buff being a thing, but the fact that it's magic damage, and he's hasn't prioritized for that at all. Jax actually does a decent amount of mixed damage, especially with that buff.
So far, it's armor and health for Zig as some things go down for NRG, looking to invade Phoenix 1's side of the map, but Inori on the recall means that he's not going to be caught out by any warding plays from NRG. And the teams reset back towards their lanes for safety. Taking a look at the CS, it is, once again, fairly even. Santorin rocking that minor lead he earned from picking up the kill. And same thing from Quas. Just farming it up, looking for that Trinity Force. In fact, picking up the Stinger, which builds into the Trinity Force.
Wants the attack speed because, I mean, if you're stacking your passive up faster, your second passive with your R, your Relentless Assault.
That's always been a question for me. I personally prefer the Sheen because I love hopping on people and bopping them, especially with the fully charged Rift Herald buff. It feels so satisfying. Like, that burst on a champion just feels great.
That's true. It does feel absolutely great, but what he wants is that very satisfying of hitting turrets faster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he can hit them harder with the Sheen, right? Don't get me wrong. But cooldown reduction, both have it. It's just the attack speed.
Yeah.
Pretty much all he's looking for. Also, when you have attack speed on Jax, you get more attack speed faster.
Oh,
because it's passive. Oh, the faster you smack him, the faster you smack him again.
Yeah. Funny how that works. Kyrian trades a bit of damage with GBM, continuing to farm up, and Nori, heading towards the mid lane, is spotted out by Santorin, who has got enormous vision range. While all of the lanes continue to farm up and look for those bigger objectives. Youmuu's now finished on OQ. Recall from MASH means he's going to finish his own Youmuu's.
Yeah, his own Youmuu's Ghostblade.
And Purian misses the blue buff. Inori snipes it away.
Yep. Whoops.
Synergy.
Sort of. But I mean, it's not awful on Olaf. He does use a lot of mana when he's constantly picking up his axe, but you do need it on this mid lane.
Yeah, denying it to Arise, though, that's the concern. He's already finished his Rod of Ages, so we're seeing some big core items finished out of both teams. Yeah. Gate and Inori are Santorin, but they might have gone too far. There's the Stand United. Teleport as well. Santorin flashes, but makes it over the wall. Inori's going to try to chase. Ragnarok and the axe is going to miss, not once, but twice. 3 times. And NRG back away, but Infernal Drake in 90 seconds.
Yeah, and they were able to completely disengage that with the help of Kiwi Kid and Santorin flashing, getting over the wall, and now they're just going to lose objectives. The top lane and this mid lane, both in danger of going down. And he has to walk through here, but it's going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, Purian gets chunked down to half. Meanwhile, Quas, completed Trinity Force, not going to use his teleport at all. Shreds through for a free tier 2 turret.
This is the strat, and you have to see this coming a mile away when you see this draft from NRG. Like, it shouldn't be any surprise that this is what's going on. And this is what NRG want to do. Like, Quas had TP, and he didn't even TP into that, or didn't even try to and then cancel it. It's like, they're going to disengage it. Even if Zig goes, you're going to lose a turret. Like, Purian early on should be TPing to the top lane to where the TP is, and then trying to kill Quas and put him far behind. And then if Shen can eventually win that matchup, then you shut down everything that this Jax wants to do. You prevent him from getting Rift Herald and don't get kind of greedy for those bottom kills, then you put him further behind. And like, Quas actually put himself a little bit behind by a tiny bit of gold. He had a larger advantage, but he had purchased a longsword, and then he sold the longsword and finished Trinity Force. So instead of buying the Sapphire Crystal for the same cost, he had purchased a longsword, which was a little questionable, but he sold it and lost like, 100 gold or so. But it's not a huge deal. But still, Quas is an absolute monster right now, and they've done nothing to stop him.
Yeah, now Infernal Drake, as you can see, spawning. Teleport available for Zig, but no Stand United. And NRG getting a few deep wards are going to look for this fight as Phoenix One try to clear it out. Pyrian still stacking up that tier, hasn't completed the Staff of the Seraphim just yet. And Zig continuing, he's going to have to catch Quas before NRG try to make a play for this Infernal Drake. But the mid tier 1 almost certainly looks to go down, but Pyrian finally clears it out.
Yep, that's really their only wave clear for the most part. You can actually use the Tristana and a little bit of the axes, but you're mostly going to rely on the range of the Rise with the ultimate on. And that's going to be Infernal Drake.
Yeah, Phoenix One look to trade it over. They're going to try to collapse onto Quas. He drops the Ghost. Gate's going to have to land this Winter's Bite. He's going to get as close as he can, but Quas dodges. That's a big cooldown. Knockup will catch him, and the slow from Inori. There's even a Stand United on cooldown. They're going to dive the turret. They should be able to kill Quas here. He's going to get some good damage in answer. Finally, he goes down, but the Infernal Drake was traded.
Yeah, they're probably going to lose mid turret and bottom turret for this, but maybe they'll get the top turret. P1, they try to take something, and then NRG just take 2 of whatever they took. They got a kill, they got a turret. If this mid lane turret goes down, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, this is the same Zerg strategy we saw them use in their previous games, only this time NRG are able to effectively trade it back. Kiwi and GBM finally drop the mid tier 1, and looks like Phoenix One are going to try to take a tier 2. They've got 4 minions. Santorin's over the wall trying to clear it out, and they will succeed. But on the opposite side, OQ is doing the same.
Yeah, they have to watch out. They might get cut off here, especially since Gate is backing in that bush, so he's leaving 3 members to actually walk all the way up, and they see those 3 members. Quas has teleport. They're going to interrupt this. They're going to TP in, and P1, they have to watch out. Santorin.
Oh, he leaps. Drops the Yomus, gets knocked up, and here comes Quas, gets revenge for his previous death. And Nori's going to try to hoof it out with some help from Zig. He actually tries to turn onto GBM while Zig duels Kiwi Kid, gets some good damage, but Quas turns it around for a double kill.
Yeah, even more kills going over, and they're going over to Quas. NRG, it looked like P1 was in a great situation there, but the Quas comes back up. The Quas comes back up, and he TPs in. Like, it's a play that when you can see the entire minimap and the vision that we can, it's one that looks like it's going to happen. And Gate had the right idea. Gate backed in the bush, and then he got away. Gate's the one who gets to, live another day here.
Yeah, they had so much vision on that side, but Santorin catches Mash at the last second. And there's Quas picking up that huge burst with the complete Trinity Force Rift Herald.
And then they immediately pick him up, and
we're taking the scenic route to get to the fights.
It is a beautiful rift.
It is.
I love all the little frogs and stuff.
Seems like it's a very living, breathing environment. Whereas the previous one was an arena. This is part of the world. Yeah. Whoa, NRG going to try to sneak the Baron here on spawn. There's no vision and no blue trinket.
Yeah, it's not even close in terms of vision here. Gate's going to try to check it. And there it is.
Yeah, he eats a full culling. Finally, Ward goes over the wall and NRG are spotted out, but they did get it down to half. If Phoenix One were just a few seconds too slow, that could have been a free Baron. GBM, forced to flash. Experian trying to collapse.
That's what I like to see, though, is I like to see somebody who's going to flash when they're right before they're going to be in the scenario that's going to kill them from a chain CC or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people today not flash Ash arrows.
Yeah.
Not flash hooks.
Or flash in line with the arrow.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
So very difficult to dodge that one on reflex, but with that, NRG return to their lanes and pick up a few more items. Black Cleaver completed on OQ, so the standard armor penetration build, while Quas now catches a huge minion wave on the bottom side of the map, opening up a pretty big advantage over Zig. And now Phoenix One are going to be the ones who try to sneak this Baron. They take some punishment as well.
Not an awful idea. The blue trinket does spot them. It looked like they got over the wall, so they avoided the scuttle crab. They used everybody who had a leap to get through. And yeah, Quas just gets to be left alone, and because he's on the bot side with no teleport, P1 try it, and they get nothing for it, but Quas gets everything.
Yeah, there's no tier 2 on that side of the map, and despite the fact that he has no teleport, Quas can put on a lot of pressure. If Phoenix One commit too many members to try to drop him, NRG could just look for another objective on the map.
Yeah.
Once again, leading Phoenix One and forcing them to be the ones reacting, often incorrectly, to NRG's plays. 22 minutes in, 5,500 gold in favor of NRG. Continuing to contest Vision as much as possible. Can't let that ward coverage slip. And there goes Quas heading over to Zig. Nope, he decides he's going to continue playing outside of Vision.
Ward up, give him a smack or two, and then go back to farming. He's going to eventually have his Maw, maybe even a Warden's Mail. We'll see what ends up happening with that Giant's Belt.
It was a zoning Yomu's. That's actually a thing on a champion like Zed.
A zoning Yomu's?
Yeah, you turn on the Yomu's and walk towards them, and sometimes you can force a flash because the enemy will just panic and oh!
And you W at them as well, and then
No,
W at them, and you don't take it.
Not with the W nerfs now. The level 1 W at 22 seconds is so painful. But that's neither here nor there.
But I mean, a flash is 300.
Yeah, but if you W and then suddenly the enemy team collapses, you have no escape.
And you're only dead for like 30 seconds. And flash is 300. It's got to be worth it. There's a formula out there.
We can do this. We can flowchart this. We have the technology.
But apparently not the intelligence.
Yeah.
Our bads. Anyway.
Yeah, back to this game. Phoenix One continuing to farm it up, trying to build towards that late game comp. Mash getting online with 2 items. Purion finishing his 2 core damage items, while the tank line gets bigger and bigger. NRG, though, continuing to play that 4-1 split push and not allowing Phoenix One to group up and force a fight.
This is like mind-boggling for me, because the amount of damage that GBM is going to do with the items that he has is absolutely insane. When he completes Lich Bane, he's going to be able to just destroy turrets as well. And that goes over to Santorin. And Mash, his build, he's going to tickle everybody. I mean, he has Runead's Hurricane, so he'll tickle 3 people.
Yeah.
But that's all he's really going to be able to accomplish with this build. It's attack speed, and I understand that when you have the explosive charge on somebody and you attack it faster, you'll get it to that higher charge rate, and then you blow it up faster like that. But it has a great AD ratio on it, so he's kind of investing in the fact that he's looking for the explosion really early and trying to get the Braum passive off, but his own damage is really dwarfed.
Is that a Yordle joke?
No.
Okay.
They're not dwarves. There's no beards on these Yordles.
They are Yordles. So what does Heimer have if he doesn't have a beard? Is that just all
That's
hair?
all hair on his head.
That is a huge afro.
Just, it's grown onto his face. It's slightly sentient. Helps him with his inventions.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's got rockets in it.
He
too.
hides things in there. Wonder if he's like an acorn and he keeps his lunch in there too.
An acorn?
If he's like a squirrel. Wow, that's yo, all right.
I get where you were going. I was like, okay, I want to make sure.
Like a chipmunk.
I was curious if there was something about acorns I didn't know.
Nope.
Okay.
I got my words mixed
All right.
up.
Let's get off this before the teleport play comes in, because it's going to happen.
Even a blind acorn finds a squirrel.
That's what's happening.
Punishment. NRG are trying to collapse onto Phoenix One right now, but I think
Inori
Phoenix
wants to go.
want this fight. Zig and Inori, the tanks are in the front. Fury needs some damage. Quas gets knocked out. He's going to try to fight this one. And this is OQ separated from his team. NRG are on the wrong side of this, and Phoenix One know it. They catch GBM with the taunt and drop him down. Quas tries to single-handedly turn it around, but he does not have enough. He goes down. That's 2 members of NRG dead.
And P1, they're right next to Baron. This is the place where you don't want to take a fight and lose it, because now P1 get to turn onto this objective. They get to blow the game wide open. If they get all these wards out of here, they make it much easier for them to do. Santorin is alive. Santorin is approaching. He may be there right in time.
Rushing forward,
He's going in.
100 health. He's trying to steal it. Oh my gosh, Santorin steals away the Baron buff. Phoenix One are going to be able to kill him. There's a culling, and now suddenly Phoenix One are locked in the pit. NRG back away.
And Santorin saves the game for NRG off of that play. Uses the Void Rush to come back in. Tunnels in. Has a little bit of support there from Kiwi Kid, but that's it. Nobody keeps him out of the pit. Gate is afraid of dying. He has his back all the way in the pit. There's nothing he can do about it. Mash didn't have ultimate. Nobody stops him.
Yeah, huge save from Santorin. We've been talking about it. He's really been playing up. The more and more we're seeing him.
I believe that was blind, too. Like, he had to kind of just run in, time it. All the wards were cleared out. I have to get another look at that because that's a little bit of luck, but also a great amount of calculation there for him saying, you know what, let's back, let's go, let's make sure I'm full HP.
Takes a lot of practice in order to pull something like that off. Now,
practice that scenario every day when my team is behind, you know?
When your dynamic queue isn't doing well. Now, Mountain Drake currently up. Phoenix One look to take it their second. Phoenix One had Mountain Drake.
That may have helped them. That may have been the difference there.
Yeah.
But still, they took the Baron as the right call to actually go for it, but NRG are the ones who snatch it up.
Quas going to continue to bop Zig on the head, trying to see if he can split push to his heart's content, while Mash takes a punishment from the culling. Gate charges forward. Baron buff on OQ and Kiwi Kid still. They're going to have it for another 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so they should be able to make something happen with this.
I'm actually a little surprised by Quas's build because it's a team fighting build. It's the Warden's Mail, make sure I don't get crit and blown up by the Tristana, and then a little bit of the magic resistance so he can jump in and then do more damage. But then he has Ghosts, so he doesn't have the flash plays available to him. He's going to just try to run these people down, and he's kind of splitting, but also available for team fights, so it's a little weird, but...
Yeah, we were talking about NRG trying to play with the 4-1, put Quas on the opposite side of the map, let him duel it out with Zig, but then NRG tried to take a fight, and that did not go their way at all.
No, it didn't go their way. Well, also I think the big thing is that OQ got zoned off of it, and it was really a 5v4.
Now with the 4-1 fully online, NRG are able to break down this mid-tier 1, or tier 2 turret.
And pretty much no wave clear as well for P1 squad. Like, Mash, he has the Rune Ants, he'll do a little bit of damage here, but Purian's the guy.
They try to catch Santorin. There goes the Chaos Storm onto a Nori. Rylai's does so much slow. Santorin continues to take a few hits. Baron still up for 30 seconds. Minion wave is finally going to catch up as NRG grouping as 5 are going to try to break this inhibitor turret against the Tristana. It'll be tough.
And you can see Mash desperately trying to clear out this wave. Disaster for P1. It looked like it was going to be good there for them. It looked like they were finally going to have a little bit of a break. But now they're going to have to play for even later. They're going to have to play for 6 items. They're going to have to play for break points for Mash and Purian. It's not awful that that's what they have to play for, but it is a little bit discouraging when you're in this situation. Quas has superiority in the split push. Better wave clear. Oki's about to pick up an enormous wave in the bot wave.
Yeah, OQ
It's the dream.
Catching a full wave of minions. He has stated that he's been having some difficulty converting his
I missed
play
one
here. Oh, he's going to get it. So he is still trying to show that he can play at the level that he played back when he was in Korea. Up about 20 CS now over MASH, but really taking a back seat in NRG once again.
Yeah, the fact that he got zoned off of the play was honestly the reason that it happened in that top side. So not being with the team really cost them, and the fact that they were able to all jump on GBM because they considered him really the only threat left. It was actually a pretty smooth play there. They were able to lock him up, give him no options. They need more of that, though. If P1 want to get back into this game, they were playing a little bit proactive, but now 8,000 gold down.
Pressure is rising. Next Drake will be a Mountain. Phoenix One would love to have that third Mountain Drake. That would help them shred through these neutral buffs so quickly.
Yeah,
problem. If they ever get MASH onto a turret, it's going to go down.
Big problem, though, is you can't really fight NRG for a little bit longer. MASH does have his crit item, though, and that's the thing is this Lucian build has no crit in it. So you have a pretty good idea of the damage that you're going to be able to put out, whereas there's some RNG here for MASH, and the fact that he's also going to be damaging multiple people. Like, if you can get some really good crits in there, you can win a fight with this Tristana at this point. just need either a little bit more AD or a little bit more attack speed. The Yomu's active as well is going to give him a whole bunch. So this is where it really starts to turn online, but investing in a 3-item build is kind of insane sometimes because the game will look like this, where you're down 9,000 gold, 8.5 now.
But you're just hitting your power spike. It only takes...
We'll play for the late game. We got late game, guys.
It only takes...
Just group us 5.
30 minutes. But Phoenix 1 looking remarkably cohesive, picking up quite a healthy amount of kills, trying to match energy as best they can. Inori is going to have to be forced to use the Ragnarok to escape, as Energy continue to try to pressure forward. A minute for Baron and a minute for that Mountain Drake. And with Quas split pushing with his teleport, this is an opportunity for Energy to get some vision and prep for those big objectives.
Yep, Inori won't have Ragnarok for about 10 seconds after the Mountain Drake spawns. So, won't have it for that fight. Everybody goes back on P1. They stock up on pink wards across the board. I believe that's 2 there for Purian and Inori.
Yeah.
So they are looking for objective control right now.
Well, now's the time. 20 seconds for that Baron, 30 for the... swap that. 10 seconds for the Baron, 25 for the Mountain Drake. Void Rush means Santorin gets right back out, and with Phoenix 1 grouped up in the mid lane, Zig with teleport and Stand United, they're going to try to get some vision out.
Yeah, and they may try to force a fight. We'll see what P1 do. I mean, I feel bad for Zig because Zig's lane opponent is almost 100 CS up over him, but Zig has 100% kill participation.
Yeah.
And he hasn't died, so the split push is winning slowly, but he's been helping his team, and that's why.
Whoa, Purian eats a full culling, but he's got his Guardian Angel, doesn't want to proc it before a fight. And Phoenix 1 actually recall as Gate heads back along with Santorin. That means Energy are going to get priority as they run towards the Baron.
Yeah, Purian would have to TP in, and they'd at least be able to get that. So, heals up, not all the way to full, but he'll have a little bit of regen ticking. Throwing a couple spells on his way out as well, I believe.
Yeah,
some charges.
Furious pinging going down on the map right now as Santorin gets a few more deep wards. He's going to spot out Inori, and Quas is going to look to solo the Mountain Drake. Mash
and Inori are looking to kill OQ. They're like, is he going to push this wave up? And they're not going to see him there. And OQ has a reputation. There was a term called, or saying that was OQ moments, which was when he pretends he's a top laner split pushing, and then he dies for it. Because it's like, what is the AD carry doing trying to 1v1 randomly, and then it ends up being against him in a 2v1. And yeah, Quas is going to take away that third one.
Yep.
They couldn't really contest it. After that Baron, the game was blown wide open in favor of Energy.
Now it's Energy who are trying to take these advantages back away from Phoenix 1. 9,000 gold almost in favor of them. They've got wards around the pit as Energy continue to stick to the 4-1 style and wait for Phoenix 1 to make a mistake. Phoenix 1, though, continually dropping wards, not letting themselves get caught out. Playing for that late game.
Yeah, it feels really strange, though. It does kind of feel like say this as nice as possible. It's going to be the 10th and the 6th place team playing each other, because you're seeing how everybody is really just kind of waiting for the other to make a move, and P1 are trying to force it, but Energy, they're really reacting here. P1s were the one who started the Baron, and then they reacted to that. The play up top was a TP play in from Purian, I believe, and then they collapsed. So really, P1 are the ones who keep trying to make something happen, and then Energy are the ones answering. And right now, Baron, they're on Baron. Energy, they aren't on it. They have 2 Mountain Drakes. It's going to be gone.
There goes the teleport.
Santorin has to get in there if he wants to steal again.
And Baron is secured by Phoenix 1. Mash hops out, but Quas is able to pop onto him. They're going to try to burn it down. Santorin is not quite going to do enough to Purian, who is locked down in the pit. Inori running for his life while Quas chases Phoenix 1. Lose gate, but get the Baron.
Yeah, and Zig there saves Inori, so Inori barely gets out. The taunt, the flash, ends up getting Quas, so he can't continue the chase. Saves one of the members. Could have been worse there, but they only lose the support and they get Baron. Energy caught sleeping.
Yeah, not able to ward that out in time, and now Phoenix 1 They say the shoe's on the other foot. Like, we have Baron now.
How does that happen? Like, everybody's kind of dancing around the pit.
Quas even teleports in a little bit late.
Like, they saw them walk towards the pit, and you know they have double Mountain Drake. Regardless, P1 make a risky play. Honestly, to be able to say, all right, we're going to get this before they can answer, is super bold call.
It does pay off this time, though, as Phoenix One with the Baron try to shove down mid lane. This time they're doing the 4-1 split. Not able to break it down. Oh, here's the big...
Yeah, look at that. Like, you can see, they
Barely
saw them.
sees Inori.
They saw them walk in. They were all hugging the wall, and they had sweepers on. They're like, all right, nothing sees us. And they get it right as Santorin comes in, but the whole thing that happened last time, not going to happen again. Gate uses the Unbreakable the wrong way, so he deserves to die. But right there, Inori, taunt onto Quas, gets him away, just barely. And now they're going to take that mid turret, and P1 right back in this game.
Yeah, 4 turrets to 6. Baron buff on them for an additional 2 minutes. As Zig is going to split push and pull Quas now to the other side. OQ is going to try to catch up.
Yeah, Quas now has that split push build. When he completed the Maw and went for the Blade of the Ruined King. Blade of the Ruined King, you'll see it in the Jax build for split pushing. Sometimes second or third item, depending. But he wanted to have a little bit more tankiness. He wanted to have both types of resistances, which allows him to team fight. And then he ended up getting the Blade of the Ruined King. So it's a different order, but it still ends up being the turret destroying Jax build.
Yeah, so far that's one tier 1 taken by Phoenix One in the mid lane for the worth of that Baron. Ooh. Elder Drake is up in 2 minutes, and NRG are getting some wards on that side.
So OQ has a lot of armor penetration here. He's got 40 armor penetration because he's got the Maw, he's got the Dusk Blade, and then he's got the Youmu's. Then he has the Black Cleaver as well. So his percentage is actually going to be rather high with having the offensive masteries and the Black Cleaver. So this is going to be really interesting watching OQ in these fights if he can actually make use of the penetration and get onto the squishies.
Yeah, Pyrion and Mash have been doing such a good job of sitting in the back of the fights, trying to get away from Quas, Santorin, and GBM. Phoenix One get some good pressure on the bottom. Mash is finally able to take down that bottom tier 2. It's now 6-5 in turrets, only a 6,000 gold difference. As Phoenix One catch up just a bit. They're scaling.
Yeah, they're scaling. But I mean, NRG are approaching 6 items. So a lot of them are at 5.5, and they're waiting on large pockets of gold. We're talking thousands here to finally top off their inventory and get to that point where they can't even carry pink wards. Yeah. So P1, on the other hand, they're not too far behind anymore. Like, you were talking about it, even in gold total, but like, you look at what Pyrion's got, Pyrion's at the same amount of items as GBM at the moment. So the GA, it's gonna come through for him. Thornmail comes through for Santorin, so he's done. Just needs the Ruby Sightstone if he is gonna upgrade it. And Quas, I assume he's also gonna go for a GA here. So we're probably gonna see a lot of Guardian Angels in this. And hold up.
Elder Dragon has arrived. Very scenic landing onto the Rift. And with both teams at 2-2 in terms of those elemental drakes, that could be...
That was sick.
The camera hopping in. Oh, Nori charges forward. He's going to try to break in, and Zig and Pyrion are flanking. Pyrion is able to drop GBM. Kiwi Kid is actually going to go down, and Phoenix One break down NRG.
And P1 say, go for GBM. He's basically the head of the gigantic mech that is NRG. They're like, cut off the head. I can't drive anymore. And that's what's going on here, is they go after him every single time. The taunt, they're using it to try and lock him down. Pyrion is flash rooting, and then GBM gets annihilated.
Yeah, huge flank from Phoenix One to find that pick. And Elder Dragon secured. It's do or die time for Phoenix One. They've got 2 minutes with an additional 135 true damage per auto attack.
Yeah, you have to back now, and then all push. 2 minutes is not a lot of time. Not even close. Pyrion TP is on the bottom side of this. Inori goes. Gate, it's all right. But GBM is the target. Cut off the head. Get rid of the pilot.
Yeah.
100% there. Blows him up. Mash double kill. And honestly, rather well played there. Gate goes for a Zeke's Herald, or Zeke's Harbinger as well.
Yeah, so the exact same plays that we've seen from Phoenix 1 whenever they do take the initiative. Send Pyrion, let Zig teleport in top, on top of him with the Stand United, Zerg someone down before the enemy team can respond. So it's worked before. NRG will see if they can adapt correctly and prevent that from happening by denying Phoenix 1's vision. But despite the Elder Dragon buff, Phoenix 1 are not grouping up, and they're just using it to try to close the gold gap between the two. They're not pushing any turrets. And they might be looking for a pick onto Gate. Santorin chases forward. There's a Stand United. Gate flashes out, but Inori turns onto OQ. GBM getting some good damage. Inori goes
They
low.
don't have Mash.
Pyrion goes too far forward. Mash finally catches up. Pyrion drops the Guardian Angel. Zig gets pulled in. That's going to be Pyrion going down. Quas is caught. He's going to be absolutely dumped by Inori. They're trying to get this fight. Inori drops. OQ chases back with GBM. Gate is caught with the tether. He drops. And NRG are taking the fight. They just might try to take the whole game.
Mash messed that up! Zig taunt flashed, and he had buster shot them away. And he got nobody. They flew away. It looked like P1 was going to try to turn it there, and Mash panicked, hit them away, completely out of sync there, and P1 throw the game.
Yeah, with the Elder Dragon buff, Phoenix 1 end up being unable to take the fight. NRG take 4 kills. They take the Nexus turrets, and they're going to take game number 1 against Phoenix 1.
There are so many fights in this I want to see again. The fight right before the Baron, this one that just happened to end the game.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely insane. Back and forth between these teams. The gold gap is like 7,000 gold, but still everybody's hanging on, hitting 6 items there for Mash.